Well, first of all, congratulations on 50 years in the business.
Well, thank you. If I may, thank you to all of you. You made it possible. Before, if I may, you know, I rehearsed Diana, the song I just did, all afternoon, and I haven't really sung it on television because I am a little old for Puppy Love and Lonely Boy and all that stuff. So I was in my dressing room, and being a writer, that's how I started. I was sitting upstairs, and what if I'd written Diana today? Now, Laurie, I know we didn't rehearse this, but just follow me in F. Just give me an F chord. Out of tempo. If I'd written Diana today. You're so young, and I'm so old. Still, I need someone to hold. I can be your lover man and do the things a young man can. You can see I can do it still. All I need is my little blue pill. Oh, please stay by me forever. No.
Dear old Sammy Khan used to do a wonderful
well, he was my buddy. Yeah.
I know he was your buddy. Yeah. This is your first affair, so what goes where?
That's right. You made me love you. You woke me up to do it.
Yeah. Okay, so I mean, 50 years ago, when you wrote that song and set out on this career, do you ever imagine it would last 50 years? You couldn't have looked that far ahead, could you? You couldn't possibly have envisaged it would.
No, I think no one has that kind of vision, even though we try to nowadays. But when you start out as I did in that whole teenage thing, and then the Beatles come along, you say to yourself, well, this isn't going to last. And that's why I really went to my whole writing thing, because I felt that would be the one indigenous factor of what I was doing that would keep me around a little longer.
Yes.
Thus, Longest Day, Tonight Show theme for Johnny Carson, things like that.
That's right. Of course, you wrote that for Carson. I mean, that's a wonderful theme. But what I mean, of course, in those days, I mean, you served the apprenticeship, didn't you? You went on the road and worked with people like Fats Domino and people like that and toured around. And
he was my guy, Fats. He took good care of me. He was funny.
Was
he was... one thing I remember about Fats Domino, because he met me in Canada when I was just trying to get in the business, and we had a friendship from then. But I would wait for him before he'd go on stage every night. You know, he's staying with a head mat. And he had this congestion every night. Well, before he'd go on, he had 4 of his henchmen, and they would stand there with him. They'd turn him upside down, hold him by his feet, and pour this neosynephrine in his nose to try and open it up. And there I am looking at my idol, Fats Domino, upside down.
Buddy Holly, too, of course, you wrote one of his great songs, didn't you?
Yeah, Buddy Holly, it doesn't matter anymore. He was a very good friend. Unfortunately, what a lot of people don't know about Buddy was that he was taking pilot lessons. And he'd called me and my partner back in the 60s, and he said, I need to make some more money. All I'm doing is taking these flying lessons, and I need to work and make some money. And I think when he came out and we got him the job on the tour, he probably made that pilot go up because he just wanted to fly. He loved flying.
Yes, yes. And then, of course, when the Beatles happened, then, as you said, you had to reinvent your entire career. And part of that, too, apart from the songwriting, was, of course, Vegas. You went there, that's where the music was, that's where it was happening, and you went there and did the lounges and all that sort of thing there, and became involved with many, many famous people. We've talked a bit about sound. What about Elvis Presley? Because you became close to him, didn't you? Well,
I knew Elvis because we shared days at RCA Victor together. And even though I went into Vegas with Sinatra and those guys, he unfortunately had failed in the late 50s, and he really had a thing about not going back again. And Elvis was a real good guy. He was a gentleman. I think, unfortunately, as the years went on, he didn't quite know how to deal with getting older, and very afraid of that, where do I go from here? And it's one of the instances where success really got a hold of him, because it's a very treacherous industry, as we all know. And I would sit around with him backstage and say, let's just go out, you know, let's go out for dinner, the two of us. Never wanted to do that. He was scared to death. He'd sit in his room, and he had guns. He loved guns. He'd sit there. He had not a good feeling about Robert Goulet. So I remember one night he took the gun out, and Robert was on TV, and he shot the TV set. That was an evening with Presley, you know.
And he used to black out his rooms, didn't he?
Yes, he put aluminum foil on the windows. Never saw the sun. I met him in Vail once. I was out with my family skiing. He wouldn't come out in the daylight, but he came out at night. They put the lights on the hill, and he would drive those snowmobiles at night up and down the hill till about 1 in the morning.
It must have been very sad watching that decline.
Yeah.
Well, he was a great artist, so there's no doubt.
Sensational. I mean, one of a kind, great voice. To watch someone like that who was really one of a kind and had such an impact on our industry, to watch it slowly wane, and as much as we all tried to talk to him, and it just got away from him, it was very, very, very sad. We knew he was in trouble.
You brought out, actually, the double CD for part of your 50th anniversary celebration. So the first CD is your version of modern classic pop songs. The second is your catalogue, some of your catalogue. On the first CD, you do by the miracle of modern technology, you do a song with Sammy Davis Jr.
Yes.
Of course, who was part of that Rat Pack. Was he a particular friend of yours, of the entire Rat Pack? Was he the one that you got closest to?
Frank and Sammy, I was very close to. Sammy was a very special human being, a very giving man, and he went through a great deal, as we all know. And I learned a lot from Sammy Davis. He was just a passionate liver, loved his friends, and one of the great entertainers. I mean, I would say today, no one touches Sammy Davis. This guy did it all. No one comes near to Sammy, and it's fortunate for those that have never seen this man.
Yes.
And he did come to me one day, and he said, "You're writing songs for all our friends. What about me?" And I did write this song for him, and because of the technology, it's a featured track on the new CD.
Did you get the feeling, which I sort of did, just observing as you do as a fan, that somehow he was the outsider, the eternal outsider within that group?
Well, he fell in and out of favor with Frank.
Well,
yeah, exactly. And he was certainly the outsider on many occasions, but Sinatra really admired him and loved him and respected him, and there was a long stretch there, and I think he was here in Great Britain, where I think they started to mend it up. But yeah, he was an outsider to the group.
Was Sinatra an easy man to fall out with?
Fall out? He was the most unusual guy you ever meet. I mean, if he said we're going to dinner, you took your passport. You never knew where you'd wind up with this guy and what kind of mood he'd be in, because he loved to drink and he was not a good drinker. And unfortunately, when he had a few, if things went wrong or you said the wrong thing, I mean, there was chaos, and I was there through a lot of that. I mean, I think I told you the last time I was here, the night I was there, he had his teeth punched out by one of the mob guys in Vegas.
No, you didn't tell us that story. No, that was somebody else who told that. I would have remembered
Well, there was only 3 of us, and those 2 are dead, so I think it might have been me. Well, actually, we were all together at the Sands where we used to work, and Howard Hughes took the place over. And Frank was a little pissed because they wouldn't give him any more money because he'd never pay the markers. So we're sitting in the lounge, and he got up after drinking, and it was 1 in the morning, and he got up on a blackjack table. And he started saying, "This place was sand when I built it, and it'll be sand when I..." And he went on and on. Well, they woke up Carl Cohen, who was one of the mob guys from Cleveland, who was a dear man. I never saw this man raise his voice. He looked after me like a godfather. Wonderful man. They woke him up, and he drove over in his golf cart to the coffee shop from his cabana, which was on property. And Jilly, who was Frank's right-hand man, said, "Let's go, we got to take the old man over to see Carl because we got to get this worked out." So Jilly and I walked him into the coffee shop. Now you had Carl Cohen over on this table with a pot of coffee. We walked Frank in, drunk. He walked over to the table, and Carl, in a very mild manner, said, "Frank, we can't give you money anymore. We don't own the place, and you're not paying up the bills." And with that, Frank said, "You fat Jew," and pulled the tablecloth, and the coffee went all over Carl. With that, Carl got up, and he punched him right in the mouth, and his teeth, Frank's, all over the coffee shop. Well, that was that. We never went back to the Sands again.
Great story.
When you look back at your 50 years in the industry, I mean, the changes that you've seen have been remarkable, haven't they? From, a point where nobody knew what they were doing to a point where now everybody has an idea, they think what's happening. And the entire industry itself has changed. I guess that you want to approve of some of the changes that you've seen in your business.
Well, I think the inevitability of evolution in society is always going to be here. And, though there's some of it out there that I don't approve with, I understand sociologically how that it's rooted. What disturbs me is, I started as a young kid from Canada with nothing. And I'm writing my book, by the way, and it's dawned on me that I don't want to end up like I started, which was bald, broke, and helpless as a kid. And the problem today I see is a lot of these kids are just too spoiled too soon, and there's nobody around them to tell them what to do, how to behave. And in a media-driven society, unlike years ago when I grew up, when Kennedy was flying in and there were girls and everything was going on, everybody turned the other way. You know, these kids today don't realize how fortunate they are to have what they have, and they're just misbehaving. And part of it is that it's form over content in terms of how that music evolves and who's really a part of it and what makes them what they are. And that's the real bad part for me.
Yeah, I mean, without knowing it, of course, you couldn't know it at the time, but you came up through what really was a golden period of popular music. It was more or less invented in that time, wasn't it? The new kind of popular music.
Well, it was in its infancy stage, for sure, yeah. Absolutely. I mean, our only supporters were the fans, and then other than that, everybody didn't like us.
I remember interviewing Mick Jagger when he talked with a very posh accent. He just came down, hello, Mr. Parkinson, he called me. And I said, how long do you think it'll last? This is 1961, he did about 2 years, sir. He said, about 2 years. But you all felt that, didn't you?
Absolutely.
So, but then it kind of, you invented it as you went along, and that was the fun of it.
Well, exactly. We weren't sure. When hard rock hit, that really changed everything for all of us, including the Rolling Stones.
Sure. You got a title for your book?
Not yet, and it won't be my way. I promise you that.
Well, he's going to fight in Las Vegas. He's a, you know, you're also a Vegas one. Michael, did you ever gamble in Vegas?
Well, my mother lost £10 million at the casino in Cannes.
I know that.
Of the 70s, so I gave already. So I don't get But it was my money that she lost. It was left to me. So, you know, thank you enough. But I've been there. And
can't win. That's why they have those high rises.
Of course.
Indian bones under those casinos.
So how does Vegas then finally, how does it compare to Hyde in Lancashire, eh?
Well, I think it's like comparing Tom Cruise to Johnny Vegas, I think, to be honest with you. It's like, I suppose we're all in entertainment, whether it be singing, boxing's entertainment, and Vegas is the capital of entertainment, and I think it's certainly been the pinnacle of my career. This will be the third time this year in Las Vegas, and there's no place. You tell people, you know, what it's like, and until you've been there, you know, there's just take your breath away.
Okay, well, Paul, so are you doing any concerts here?
Planning to next April.
Excellent.
Promoting this album, writing the book, and then I'll be back in April to tour, do some concerts,
The album's lovely. I told you, I love that song, Walking Through Memphis.
Thank you.
It's good. Good song.
Well, we got Michael Bublé on there with Destiny. We got
Your
Bon
protege.
Jovi. My protege, Absolutely.
Yeah. Well, Paul Anka, as ever, thank you very much indeed, Paul.
No, wait, I'm not done yet.
You're not done yet?
Wait, ladies and gentlemen, wait.
You're not done yet, though.
I have another surprise. Now, sadly, this wonderful, wonderful man has decided to make his exit from this scenario, but I'm sure not from work. Could you give me an arpeggio, please? It was good enough for Sinatra, my friend. This is for you, from all of us. My way, I'm here to say, we'd face this day. We always knew it. When you would bid adieu, say it's not true. Parky, don't do it. Right here, year after year, your chat we cheer in such a sure way. You're number one, that's Parkinson. You did it your way. Now, just one thing before you go. Your generosity, we all know. Wish you could find a way to share your dapper looks, your height, your hair. I would trade with ease the royalties from this song, My Way. No lack of style and knack. As we look back, your strides were gallant. A newsman, a cricket fan, loved jazz and big band, discovering talent, and G, the BBC, and ITV. no one can diss you. I guess that's that, dear king of chat. We sure will miss you with your dear Mary side by side. Your kids and grandkids all confide. Yes, friends, your fans, and every guest all hope you know their lives you have blessed. From everyone, Michael Parkinson, our way is your way.